Yes, it
Right.
was. That was because I made the slow jam tapes.
Let's go, man.
We ready? Welcome, our listening audience all over the globe for another edition of We Love Rare Grooves. Coming to you live from the studios of Burbank, California on the Universal Broadcast Network. Tune in live right now on Channel 1, and also we're on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitter Live. I'm your host, C-Mose, as we bring you every Monday night the magic of the music and the music of the magic. And this is where the legends can be found. And we got the legends tonight in the house. Boy, I used to love this song right here. This L Chic. Boy, I'm telling you. So tonight we are going to be honored to have one of the great singers on the Chic album starting off. But before we get into it tonight, got to introduce my great cast and crew. We couldn't get the show started without them. And got my man over here jamming hard, the hardest working man, DJ Reg. Welcome every Monday night, DJ Reg. What's going on, my good man? You can't hear us? All right, well, I'm saying hello to you, so just take your screen off and I'm saying hello,
There
DJ
we go.
Reg.
There we go. There we go.
I'm welcoming you. How you doing this Monday
I'm
night,
doing
man?
good, man. I'm doing good. I couldn't hear anything at first. Now I can hear.
You got me? All right. Probably
Yeah, I got
because I'm the only one without the We Love Rare Grooves. Will you read it? We Love Rare Grooves mask?
That's the one that's harder for me to get on.
Oh, man, just put it on for aesthetics.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Oh, yes, sir.
Hey, man, I appreciate you tonight doing double duty there.
Absolutely.
As our boy DeVoe can't be with us tonight, but he's listening to us as we do every Monday night. And we also got the consultant tonight in the house. This is the consultant show that we gonna reach way back here, find out something about that bubblicious.
Yes.
From the consultant, Mr. Robert A. Man, how you doing?
Robert.
Matter of fact, let's get you real clear. You know, I've been on the show over 4 years, and we've had a lot of incredible singers: Dionne Warwick, Marilyn McCoo, Billy Davis, Patrice Rushen, and so on and so forth. But as a musical historian, our guest tonight is my favorite. We go way back. Way back.
Well, I'm sure we're gonna hear about some of those way back stories.
You got it. 'Cause
Okay.
You know, I'm a way back kind of brother.
So I look forward to getting into it.
Yeah.
Appreciate you making this happen. And then we also have our beautiful and talented co-host, the one and only Miss Shantini Irie.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Hi.
What's going on, dear? How you doing?
Nothing much. I'm great.
You excited tonight to get
Of
this
course,
started?
as always. I'm super excited about our guest tonight. I can't wait to hear. This is a show that Robert did, so I'm really excited to see how this turns out.
Well, you got the guests. We're going to turn it out for you.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
gonna
as
turn-
you can see,
the
our
album?
guests can see we have your records here in studio.
We need you to come to the studio and sign this too. You know that, right? How we can get it Zoom.
Let's see.
Only here on We Love Rare Grooves. So
You got some explaining to do on some of these, but we'll leave that
Yeah.
for the show. Like this one with Luvv. That's very fascinating.
So we're going to get into that one. Hey, we want to thank our sponsors every Monday night keeping the show going. That's right. We have Beverly Boy Productions, the go-to guys for all your video production needs. Give them a call, 1-800-385-1243. And also, we had the Serving Spoon, an urban eatery here in Los Angeles, California, Inglewood, the best Southern cuisine for breakfast this side of the Mississippi. So get out to see Serving Spoon, servingspoon.net. And also Sweet Events, Suite events for the Sweet Life to make sure you get all your colorful stories, people, and places for the magazine published by Sarah Harris, Sweet Life SoCal magazine. So without further ado, we want to get the show started tonight as we welcome to the Groove Studio the former lead vocalist, member in the group of a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominated award-winning group Chic. She also worked with some of the great artists. Y'all ready, gang?
Uh-huh.
Madonna.
Yeah.
Luther Vandross.
Ow.
Aretha Franklin.
Yeah.
Randy Crawford.
Yes.
And many, many more. And she's still performing. You can see her performing with what they call the first ladies of disco with none other than Linda Clifford and Martha Washington. We're so happy to introduce tonight the legendary singer in this industry, and she is the lovely and talented Miss Norma Jean Wright. Welcome to the Groove Studios, Miss Norma Jean Wright. Look at you, looking all lovely back there, girl. Where you at? You in New York, right?
Say that again.
Are you in New York?
I'm in New York.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right, man. Look how the world is now. We can zoom right in. You're home right there in New York, and we're right here in the studios of Los Angeles. And we're going to bring it to them tonight.
Technology at its best, right?
That's right.
There you go.
Hey, you ready for this musical journey tonight?
I'm ready.
Okay. All right.
Ready.
So,
I'm here and ready.
So we are honored to have you in the studios of the Legacy You'll Last. If you're hearing the music right now, that brings you back, doesn't it? I mean,
It takes me right back to Studio 54 and some of the other places that we performed. We just had a good time.
you know what? I never thought of Chic as disco. For some reason, this is me personally. I didn't think of them as disco.
Oh, I did.
I did because the music was just, that was like freshman year in college when the Freak came out. And like I said earlier, I was talking to you. I was the slow jam master tape, and we'll be playing some of them. But you guys had slow songs. You had the beats, the music, and this, sold over millions and millions of copies. But we want to start off with you and your involvement of music and how it started and bringing in how you got involved with Chic and how you continue your career even after that. So as we asked our guests every Monday night, I'm going to let a woman to a woman ask this question right here.
Did you come out of the womb singing?
No, I don't think I came out of the womb singing. I think that I became interested in singing at about 7 or 8 because I had a cousin, an older cousin. He lived in Tennessee, and every summer.
Who, Binky? Was it Binky?
No, it wasn't Binky. You were so. It was, my cousin's name was Ernest, and he was like 7 years older or 8 years older, but he would sing whenever we would go to Tennessee. He would sing. They picked cotton at that time, and he would go out, he would be singing, and I would listen to him singing. He really loved Sam Cooke. And so I would listen to him singing Sam Cooke, Cupid, draw back your bow. And I fell in love with Sam Cooke, and I also became very interested in trying to sing like my cousin, basically. That's where it started.
Now, did you have church background as well as most people? Most black
Gospel,
folks?
you said?
Did you have church background and church influence in your upbringing?
Because that was the next step.
Yeah.
The next step is in our going to church every Sunday. My sister and I ended up in the choir. So from there, we ended up getting little lead parts, and we would do duets, and people wanted to hear us sing. And that really, really kicked it in for me.
Now, was your family musically inclined, your mother and father?
My mother sang a little bit. My father wasn't inclined at all musically. Not any singing.
Not even
whatsoever.
a little bit.
But my auntie played the piano in church, so that was also something that inspired me.
Now, were you educated musically in school? I know back then they were big on glee clubs and music being a big part of your curriculum.
I did not study music, but I definitely, the choirs, Ohio State, where Bob and I were. I was
The
in
Ohio
choir.
State.
So, were you in like any groups when you were in middle school when Bubblicious was hanging out with you?
Wait a minute.
So let's talk about y'all connection watching you at the
Robert
Talent.
A, you mean?
Yes.
That's our nickname for him, Bobalicious. Okay, that's what I called him.
Yes. She said you got to be a homeboy to call him that.
Or the other one was Bodacious Bob with the briefcase, but that's
that's another story for another time.
That had to be Ohio State because he didn't have a briefcase when he was picking cotton.
No, he was. You guys stop teasing This is my brother here, so y'all lay off. Only I can tease him.
Okay.
Now, what part of Ohio are you from?
It's Elyria, Ohio.
Okay.
ELY.
Is that near Youngstown? Is Elyria near
It's
Youngstown?
not far from Youngstown.
It's near Cleveland, right?
What would you say, Robert?
It's 23 miles from Cleveland.
From
20
Cleveland,
from
yeah.
Cleveland?
Yeah.
So that's halfway.
No, it's not. Youngstown is on the
Other
eastern
side.
It's
part
near
of
the
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. Okay, so you guys are from in the
And
middle.
Youngstown is about 100 miles from.
Okay, all right then.
So
Okay,
it's not
okay.
close.
So it would be Akron then.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right, so as we go through your background, Norma, talk to about your sister Beverly and her, as you're talking about your growth. I always remembered Beverly as a member of your group as well as the Topettes.
Okay.
Listen.
Beverly and I, as I said, we started singing together in church. Then we ended up in a group called the Topettes. And the Topettes consisted of my sister Beverly, myself, another young lady by the name of Monsiela Young. And we all sang with her uncle, whose name was this is his stage name, Red Top Young. And he had a band. He played the organ and he sang blues, R&B, you name it. He was like very, very good. He took us out on the road with him. We traveled with him at the age of, I would say Monsiela was like 13, my sister Beverly was 14, I was 15. We had a chaperone. Monsiela's mother was our chaperone. And Monsiela was Red Top's niece. So it was a family affair, so to speak. But Red Top was very, very, very popular throughout the Midwest. And we sang with him for at least 3 years, 4 years. And like I said, the name of the group was Red Top and the Topettes. So after that, I knew I just knew music was for me.
So that was when you decided that you were going to make a career out of it?
That definitely pushed me into that realm of, I think I can do this.
What did your parents think about you making a career out of that instead of making more of a traditional?
Well, my dad, because what I wanted to do was finish high school, move to New York, and pursue a career in music. And my dad, he was like, Norma, that's not a good idea. He says, I think you should at least go to college, so if you don't make it in music, you have something to fall back on.
Right, very smart.
And so he was right. I went to college first. I listened to him and he was correct. Even though I never had to use it, just having it made me very secure that if I didn't make it in music, I can always get a gig because I had a college degree.
Wow. Now, when did you meet Mr. Robert A. here?
I met Mr. Robert A. Was it junior high school?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, junior high.
Junior high.
Was he throwing
And
stuff
Mr.
at you because he
Robert
liked you?
Huh?
Was he throwing stuff at you because he tried to get your attention because he liked you?
No,
No, not
because
even.
she had about 30 or 40 guys in front of me, okay? So I said, let me just be the friend because I can't beat all the, including my first cousin, okay? So I couldn't mess up the family, so we became great friends, and we really were.
And see, that lasted.
We went to, first we went to community college together. And then I went to Ohio State, and then the next year, pop, guess who's there? Norma. And then she goes to Ohio State and gets to be a big musical star.
So what did you study at Ohio State? Did you study music?
African African American Studies, and also and my secondary was sociology.
Did you ask who some of her earlier influences were?
No, not yet. Who were some of your earliest influences musically at the time?
I listened to Gladys Knight, Aretha Franklin, Nancy Wilson, even Barbara Streisand, whoever
Barbara's
I could
great.
get my hands on, that, and felt like, wow, there's something about their voice that I was drawn to. I would listen to and really try and emulate them.
Wow.
So
Nancy Wilson early on was one of the main people that I listened to. I listened to Aretha and tried to emulate her and almost hurt myself.
Haven't we all?
But Gladys Knight was another one that had a big influence on me, because I'm a natural alto or contralto, and her voice is that range.
Now, what you said, you and your sister sang duets. You guys were always they were always asking you guys to sing duets in the church. What was one of the duets you guys sang? Do you remember?
Oh my goodness! One of the glory, glory, hallelujah. Since I laid my burdens
down. Burdens down, Lord.
You can go back to True Vine now. You've been to True Vine.
Oh my God.
And so, Norma, as you went to Ohio State, graduated from Ohio, what was your decision to go to New York and really pursue your career? Give a little background on that.
Okay, while I was at Ohio State, of course, the choir, and it was a great choir. Julius, I can't remember Julius's last name, but the director of the choir, it was an amazing group. So that influenced me. While I was there, Earth, Wind, and Fire performed. They came to Ohio State.
Wow.
At Ohio State. And at that time, they had a female singer, and she was a soprano, pure soprano.
Jessica
she was
Cleaves.
a part of the group. What was her name, Bob?
Jessica Cleaves.
Jessica Cleaves. Yeah. So Jessica had left the group, and they were looking for a female vocalist to replace Jessica. Now, I know I'm not a soprano, but I definitely auditioned for Earth,
I know you did.
And they were like, great voice, but we need a pure soprano. So that had an impact on me. And then the other thing was I ended up auditioning for the Spinners, because they had recorded and released Then Came You, which was a big hit, and Dionne Warwick sang that duet with them. But she couldn't make all of the dates. So there were dates in Ohio that she couldn't do, and I auditioned for the Spinners. And they said, hey, you got the gig. So working with them after that, I was like, okay, I'm going to New York. Plus I had been, throughout my time in Columbus, I had been working with local bands just all the time. So finally, I just said, okay, it's time for me to go to New York. Now, I had my college degree and everything, so I was ready. And off to the races I went.
Now tell me this, how did you... Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Not only that, Bob, do you remember a young lady that went to high school with us by the name of Pammy?
Uh-huh.
Pammy had a desire to become a fashion model. She moved to New York straight out of high school, and she was modeling in New York. She had actually contacted me and told me about Curtis Knight with ESP, and that they were looking for a female vocalist. So I felt like, well, I know somebody in New York, as well as having this possibility of maybe a gig. So all of those things kind of lined up at the same time. Although when I got to New York, I really didn't see Pam that much, but it definitely, she motivated me to just, hey, now's the time, so.
All about the networking, right? So at that time, now you're with ESP. How did you get up to? Were they in Canada? Did you guys go to Canada or something? Am I reading that correctly?
Well, Lucy Martin.
That's where you met her.
Yeah, I met Lucy Martin in the group ESP. She was
Okay.
already a part of the group
Okay.
prior to my moving to New York. And he was Curtis Knight, who was the manager of ESP. He also had worked with Jimi Hendrix. I think he managed Jimi Hendrix early in Jimmy's career, which was like kind of his claim to fame. He was putting this group together called ESP. It was like a rock funk group and featured a really good guitarist by the name of Alfred. But so Lucy was already singing with them, and I auditioned, got the gig, and she and I, that's how we met. And we later ended up working in Canada together because we ended up getting work with the drummer from ESP. So we were in Canada for quite a while.
Now, did your sister travel with you or do any professional stuff with you?
No, she no longer pursued music after the Topettes.
Wow.
So-
Okay.
She wasn't interested. Plus, she got pregnant early, and
I was gonna think that
Got
was an option,
married.
but I didn't want to
that's
say.
the other
I
thing.
thought
Her
that might have
getting
been it.
pregnant and getting married was like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah, that'll slow you down. Yeah.
So we're going to go into musical selections from the first album, and we're going to come back and talk about the connection, how you got involved with Bernard, Nile, and Tony, and created that image of Chic, you know, the Chic image, the style, and how all that played out during that New York and the New York scene, and how your first album was collaborated with that. So we're going to go into the music, then we're going to come back and tell all that story. With
All right.
So we're in the studios today, in the Groove Studios with Norma Jean Wright, one of the former lead singers of the group Chic, and also now one of the first ladies of disco, keeping it live and moving on. We're here at the Universal Broadcast Network, ubngo.com. Give us a call at 323-524-2599 to chat with Norma. And we're here with DJ Reg, Shantani Irie, and the consultant to help make this happen today, Robert Bubblicious A. Hey, well, let's go into a great musical.
I told you, Norma. I told you not to say.
We're going into a great
it's
musical
Bobblicious.
selection.
It's
Bobblicious. Bubblicious.
He can't really speak
It's
very well.
really delicious. DJ Rez, take me away, man. You remember this song right here.
Walking far, hanging at the local bar. Will she ever be a star and ride around in a fancy car and have expensive things like furs and diamond rings? All alone, she lives her life in the midst of us. She can't believe her eyes are the rest of her, and it's the little things she says to me makes me think the girl's in need of a family.
Est-ce que c'est chic ou simplement ordinaire? Est-ce que c'est chic, chic? Est-ce que c'est chic ou simplement ordinaire? Est-ce que c'est chic, chic?
It's really strange every time I hear her name. I think of you, honey, night and day, and it's your sweet loving that makes me feel this way. I'm not ashamed. Whoa, no, not me. Everyone should know this is how love should be. And now that I've given you my heart, please be gentle, baby. When the loving starts calling. I think of you, honey, night and day, and it's your sweet loving that makes me feel this way. I'm not ashamed. Whoa, no, not me. Everyone should know this is how love should be. And now that I've given you my heart, please be gentle, baby. When the loving starts calling, in love with you, I wanna love you, baby. To do. Ooh, falling in love with you tonight. Falling in love with you. I wanna love you. It's all I want to do tonight. Tonight. I see your picture. I hear your name. I try to hide it, baby, but the feeling's still the same. I see your face, such a warm face. I wanna touch you or just feel your embrace. And now that I've given you my heart, my dream. Such joy, so hold me, lonely boy. Hold me, lonely boy. I'm here for you. I just can't wait till Saturday. 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 No, I don't think I can make it much longer. Every day, just like some old jerk, all I do is work. I'm no robot, I just have to party, ooh, and please my body. Let's go disco, meet the guys and gals, they're all my.
My name's Dave Patterson. I'm a Seattle area videographer. I've been working with Beverly Boy Productions for over 2 years, and I can say they are great to work with. They've always provided me with the information I need so that when I show up on set, I can shoot exactly what's necessary to tell the story the client is trying to tell. Call sheets that include the who, what, why, where, when of the video shoot, production notes, gear requirements, crew requirements, load-in time, all that. Makes my job a lot easier, and ultimately it produces the results that the client's going to be happy with. This is what a professional company like Beverly Boy Productions does, and also it's one of the reasons why I really enjoy working with them. It's a bit of a family vibe. They're very low-key, low pressure, but they're very professional at the same time, and they get the results, and that's ultimately what matters most. I'm proud to be a shooter for Beverly Boy Productions, and if you're looking for a company to produce your next video production, by all means, give them a call. They can handle any sort of scale project, from a single person interview to a large production with multiple cameras and large crews. You won't be disappointed with the results. Give them a call.
Welcome back to the Groove Studios. We're live in living color with the one and only fabulous Miss Norma Jean Wright. Looking all beautiful there. How you doing, my dear? Bringing back memories.
I'm good. It's a good thing I'm a night owl.
Why you being?
Well, you kind of learn to be in your business, in the entertainment industry.
Yeah. Even more so, I'm just nocturnal. I'm a Cancer moon child on top of it. So
That's when you do your best writing under the moon, right? Okay. All right.
Do you still trip out if you're in the grocery store or something and you hear your music?
Oh,
Does it still shock you?
no, not really.
She said, no, not really.
So give us a call at 323-524-2599 here in the Groove Studios. We're live on Facebook. So we got Norma Jean. Tell us about that introduction to the group Chic, because you guys were elegant, style, cool, and like I said, me personally, I didn't think it was disco. We just knew y'all was jamming.
You know what? We entered the industry by way of disco because the access was so it was much easier to get a deal because dance music was like taking off. But Chic really is R&B.
Right.
So the strings are in the arrangement, so you think it gives you the illusion of the disco because a lot of disco music had strings. But Chic is not technically
I agree.
the normal disco band. They were like R&B. Bernard was, like James Brown to the max. R&B. Now studied, classical jazz. Tony was a jazz drummer. So those jazz elements may have been in there, and they were smart enough to take advantage of the fact of getting in the industry at that time. So, and they were also skilled enough to like, if you listen to Dance, 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 that's probably the most disco-oriented song. The first one, Yowza, 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 everybody dance. And as Chic evolved, Good Times is not a disco record. I mean, it's a dance record.
But it's not
But
disco.
it's an R&B.
Right,
record.
especially when Rapper's Delight sampled it, and that was all she wrote.
But what did you think when they tried to, or when people kind of categorize you as disco? Did you guys just ride the wave, or?
Had no problem with it. You know what they say, do not bite the hand that feeds you.
Uh-huh.
We are thankful that disco was available to us because so many artists, particularly female artists, black artists, was able to enter the industry by way of disco. So it was a blessing.
So you were in New York, obviously, when Studio 54 and all those big places. What was New York like when you got there as a young adult and you got ready to really step out? What was the city like then?
Well, the city was vibrant as far as music was concerned. It was like a renaissance. People were working. There were a lot of sessions, and it was very active. It was, I mean, like I said, it was an abundance of work and new music being created. And I was so happy.
So what was your entree into Chic? I mean, how did that happen?
That happened by way of, after I moved to New York, I met through Pammy, a young lady by the name of Lene Davis. She's a singer and actress. And she had worked with Nile and Bernard in like local bands throughout New York. So she knew Nile and Bernard because she had worked with them. And so she told me, she says, Norma, she said, these guys are putting together a group and they're looking for a female vocalist. She says, I think you should audition for them. So that's how I met them, through Lene. Lene Davis, she's from Detroit, Michigan.
Of course, that's the best place.
So, so tell me this: what was?
My family's from Detroit, Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was
a lot
the
of friends and relatives in Detroit?
What was the role that you played in the image and the mystique that made up Chic? Chic.
Well, as far as the role I played initially in being that first female vocalist, I fell right into their image of wanting it to be very stylish and that sort of thing, because even when I was in Ohio performing, I would often wear gowns. I loved long gowns. So with Nile and Bernard, that was there, that the image and what they wanted it to sound and look like. They were responsible for that. It was just, for me, very easy. I was happy to be in that type of setting because it went hand in hand with my idea of, an image.
So for you all's tunes is like Everybody Dance. Who were some of the producers on that, and how did that come to be?
Nile and Bernard produced everything. They wrote everything and they produced everything.
And
totally.
What role did Luther Vandross play in it?
Right there. Did it all.
Now, what role did Luther Vandross play in all of that?
Luther, we consider him now, many of us say he was the architect of the Chic vocal sound, because he was very much the one that would help them to arrange like the vocals and gave them advice on how it should be approached. And with the singers, he was basically the director. When we would do those sessions with the background vocals, Luther was the one that we all listened to. And what a talent he was. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yes, he was.
Now tell us, where were you the first time you heard your song, The Chic, on the radio? Was it, BLS in New York?
Yeah, BLS. Probably.
You
yeah.
remember that when you first time you heard it?
I think I was in a taxi. You know, it's like, woohoo!
And the taxi driver looked back at you like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yes.
Right.
That's my song.
What was it like going home after you had really had these big hits?
Oh, the thing about it in going home, because my dad, even though I finished college and went to New York, he still kind of felt like, I don't know if that's the right decision. So he was kind of like iffy about me moving to New York because I didn't have relatives or didn't really know anyone. After Chic hit, he was like, "That's my baby." That's my daughter. He was happy. He was happy.
And so, Norma, you know, you and I have talked about this, about the music scene at the time. And talk to us a little bit about another person who came around the same time as you did into New York, Madonna.
Oh, Madonna. Yes, she did.
Who's
Madonna.
also from Detroit.
I met Madonna in a dance class. I went to take some dance lessons because I really had two left feet, for real, okay? I know I'm a sister and all, but as far as my dancing, more dancing stage and that sort of thing, but just regular, you know, dancing I could do. But I took this class, and at the front of the class was a blonde young lady that was dancing her behind off. And I was like, who is this? And it was Madonna. So after the class, you know, I think either she introduced herself or I introduced myself to her. But anyways, we continued to take the dance class, and after the class, we would, you know, leave and catch the train together. But when she finally, because she told me that she had aspirations to be a singer, I introduced her even to my manager at the time, and he didn't see her potential. I know today he's
probably real mad.
He's not a man that
He's
he
probably
does
real
not
mad.
want anybody to give his name in reference to that story.
I bet he don't.
But that's how I met her. And then after she did get her deal, she hired Reggie Lucas.
And Toomey and Lucas.
But even prior to Reggie, she actually had them, you know, the producers call me to sing background on her album.
Wow, that's amazing.
So you were on the first album you sang background on?
Album.
She sang Like a Virgin, Touched for the very first time.
Holiday.
Like Virgin was the second album. That's the one that Nile produced. But the first album was produced by Reggie Lucas, and Jelly Bean Benitez produced
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Holiday and some of
Oh, Holiday.
some of those songs.
Yeah.
It's just Madonna and I singing, like Burn It Up and
Wow.
yeah, there's like two or three. And then Borderline,
Oh, I love that song.
Brenda White King, Gwen Guthrie, and myself.
When
singing
Guthrie is on Borderline?
Gwen
Yes.
Guthrie.
Wow.
Has on that one. God
May
bless
she
her
rest in
soul.
peace.
That's so crazy. See, you only hear this on our show. I mean, the things that someone like yourself would be singing background on a record that's so iconic to this day. I mean, and then you yourself make iconic music. Ordinarily, we ask people what was their first car that they bought when they blew up, but you lived in New York. So did you buy it? What was your first car that you bought when you really made it?
What did I buy? I still didn't. I bought something that was like regular. I wasn't going out doing crazy stuff because it wasn't like I wrote those songs.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So I bought. I don't even remember what I bought, but I spent a lot of money on taxis. How about that?
You're in New York.
I probably could have bought
But
two
one other question before
with taxis.
Right.
before we go into our next musical selection, tell us what it means to be a backup singer. You know, the melody and what you bring to the project whenever you're a part of it.
Well, I think each singer has their own tone, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And blending those tones together, there's just something sonically that is created that's special. I can't say to you that I bring this or that Tawaka A.G., she's a soprano.
Mm-hmm.
Cindy Mizell, soprano. Brenda King, alto. It's a blending. It's almost like if you go into a kitchen and you're cooking food and you
Recipe,
add
like a recipe.
spices.
Yes.
Those voices represent different spices to me. And you put them together and you just come up with a good old stew.
Well, the great thing is that you can do both. Very few people can sing lead and do background. So, you know.
I'm so grateful. But I think Illyria's training.
There you go.
You know, they do.
There you go.
Illyria. Illyria
Wait a minute.
with 5 people.
Amen.
And 2 of them black. Bubblicious and
All right.
NGW were the only people there families.
Can't tease him.
All right. Let's go into another musical selection. We're going to talk about how this project came about and more about with Norma Jean Wright, former lead vocalist and still one of the first ladies of disco today, still performing here in the Groove Studios. We're so happy to have her. DJ Rez, just take us away with some, now Norma being the lead. I like this song right here. Watch this song we can right play now.
Don't be surprised, my friend, if I don't cry when you leave. I've seen it all before. Many men have walked through that door, never to return. Oh, how it hurt. Baby, love's supposed to be good for good memories. I know this pain is just an old friend. I have tried my best, and now when you're around, you lift me up, and baby, I don't wanna come down. No.
rising inside of me. I can't break loose. And every moment that we share together, you and I, draws me much closer to the love that I still hold inside. Every minute is a love that I have for you. Keeps rising inside of me. I can't break loose. Every moment that we share together, you and I, draws me much closer to the love that I still hold inside. I'm scared to see, I've been hurt before. Don't want heartache knocking on my door. He said, don't worry, I'm not the same. Don't fool around, I'm not into games. Alright, well, I will give you this chance. My heart tells me why not. Who's to say this is not the romance I have been needing? So I have to leave it. Every minute is love that I have for you. Every bit more keeps rising inside of me. I can't break loose. Every moment that we share together, you and I, draw me much closer to the love that I still hold inside. We'll cast a spell and we can move on. I'm almost down, I don't wanna wait. I must admit, I do confess, you got the stuff that can pass the test. Wait a minute, I just need more time. It's going much too fast. I'm not sure, but I might be inclined to run away. But I have to say that every minute is love that I have for you. Keeps rising inside of me. I can't break loose. Every moment that we share together, you and I, draw me much closer to the love that
We pride ourselves on our service. We really stress that with our employees, that when you come here, that you're actually better for your coming. And if you give us 1% of your trust, we'll earn the other 99. And by the way, there ain't no better breakfast.
back to the Groove Studios as we have in the fabulous Miss Norma Jean Wright from Elaria.
Say it right. Say it right.
Elaria.
Thank you.
I got my little
Elaria.
Ohio, my
You got-
little. Can y'all
Uh-oh,
see
the
that?
Ohio State. Yeah, we can see it.
Let them fools know, Norma. Let them know.
Hey,
Let 'em know, my Ohio folks out there. I love you.
okay. Let me
Everybody
let me
else
get
too.
this.
I love it. I love
Let me-
all of my friends and fans.
Let me get this plug out for the Serving Spoon, the best Southern cuisine here west of the Mississippi. So the next time you're in Los Angeles, we will make sure that you're at the Serving Spoon Eatery, an urban eatery, 1403 Centinela Avenue, Inglewood, California. Give them a call,
In the wood.
310-412-3927. Again, that's 310-412-3927. That's right there, open 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. There's dining outside right now. Had a good time, enjoyed the food. Got to get your grits. You like sugar or salt on your grits?
Why would
Norma?
she want sugar in her grits?
Some people put sugar. I'm just
those
asking.
people just want cream of wheat.
Do you
though.
want sugar or salt in your grits, Norma?
Eat a lot of grits, so I don't. But I guess if I had to choose, I would probably have some salt.
Salt.
you.
Okay. Well, don't have
Sugar grits
you don't
is
wanna
for
have the
people who
sugar.
want cream of wheat.
That's
You-
true.
We give them cream of wheat. We don't.
That
you
is
just want cream of
absolutely
wheat.
absolutely true. So
Tell us about Herbert Eves the third.
Hubert,
Hubert.
Hubert Eves. Well, he is truly an amazing talent. Hubert worked with D-Train, which Bob, I know you know all of this. I mean Robert A.
Thank you.
you can call him.
You can call him what you want to call him.
But so Hubert was the music force behind D-Train.
Okay, so he was in charge of funk.
He was in charge of funk, and he's
Serious
from
funk.
Minnesota originally.
Oh, Minnesota.
Funk master, Mr. Hubert Eves, among other. I mean, he's just a really,
'Cause
brilliant.
I see you and him did a lot of vocal arrangements on your record, Every Bit of This Love.
Yep, he produced it and did vocal arrangements. I think Hubert may have even written this song. I'm not sure. I think.
Yeah, it says produced
co-wrote
by.
it.
Yeah, and then you did the lead and background vocals, and then you did vocal production as well with him.
Now,
So-
now
Yeah, I forgot. I actually forgot that I did some vocal production.
That's all right. We're here to remind you. We
Now,
got you.
now tell us you had your first single release as a lead artist on there was Saturday, and that was an arrangement that you had with Bernard and Now, right? Because you were like, look, I want to tell that story about how that came about.
You know what? The thing about it is, it's quiet as it's been kept.
Uh-huh.
That was not my decision to do solo.
Oh,
They
really?
Actually, it was planned, and I say by the powers that be. After Chic's album took off,
Right.
and it was so successful, everybody wanted a little piece of Chic.
Mm-hmm.
So Niall and Bernard, their thinking was they wanted to do something that George Clinton was doing at the time, which George Clinton had the Funkadelics, and he had signed the Funkadelics, like the group,
Mm-hmm.
to one label, and
In
then
the parliament.
the Parliament to another. Yes.
Bride to
that's-
Frankenstein's.
Exactly. And so they said, hey, we can get you a deal. And they even said Tony would get a deal. I mean, this is what the plan was. I don't know how Tony, I always say, I don't know how Tony was going to do solo deal, but you know, Billy Cobham was solo, so you never know.
Right.
But
Harvey
it-
Mason. Right.
Yeah.
Anyways, my deal was the first, but the plan was that they would get the deal for me.
Mhm.
I would do a solo album, but I would still stay as Chic's lead vocalist.
Right.
That was the plan. And plus, my deal ended up being under WEA, which is Warner, Electric, and Atlantic. So
Mhm.
Chic was signed to Atlantic Records.
Mm-hmm.
My deal ended up being with Warner Brothers. It was Bearsville, though, and the owner of Bearsville was Albert Grossman. Albert Grossman, there were no dance acts on his label. He had managed Janis Joplin and Bob Dylan, and
Oh, that's a whole different group.
that's a whole
Yeah.
different,
Whole different. Yeah, that's way over here. Yeah.
But but dance music was making so much money that I think they just wanted a piece of, the action.
Mm-hmm.
So after getting over there and getting the deal, first album was done, and the whole thing was that Nile and Bernard would still be involved with the marketing, and Tom Kazi and Mark Kreiner, who were like involved with Chic, they were like executives, so to speak. And Albert Grossman, there was differences there, and as far as it just turned out to be not a doable situation with what the plan had been.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up not being able to go on with them. And there were also some, like I said, creative differences with Nile Bernard and, oh, sorry about that.
Who calling you this?
Tell your
But
boyfriend
anyway-
you're calling back.
Tell him
Hey.
at work.
Calling you at 12 o'clock. Well, hey.
Tell him you're calling back.
Anyway,
You know, New York don't sleep. They don't sleep.
Bob Alicia's here telling stories on YouTube. I was gonna say, was that one of your first love? Was that Johnny Mitchell?
Oh my God.
He telling on you. I couldn't hold that
The
back.
Love Twins.
this is a now love.
I couldn't hold that one back.
Did you notice how disco music
Did
you notice how disco music or your style of the music that you guys did you notice how it changed and transformed nightclubs, how they used to be before that introduction happened to once it came in to be, when Studio 54 and all those clubs were born? Did you notice the change?
Oh, definitely, because people were, first of all, dancing much more.
Right.
And it was just a much, I think with disco, it had the ability to just bring so many diverse groups of people together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was black, white, gay. Everybody was, it was just more inclusive, I think, as far as those that participated.
Now, what was Studio 54 like? Who were some of the people you saw up in there?
You name it. You name it. I mean, it was.
I was up in there.
Was you up in there? Clifton said he was up in there. We don't know.
I'm sure
I don't remember.
He was probably
seeing
sneaking up in there. She said she don't remember seeing.
Wait a minute, but Norma, talk to me a little bit about someone that a lot of people don't know. Talk a little bit about Raymond Jones and what he meant to you.
Raymond and I met in Chic. He was the keyboard player, one of the keyboard players for Chic. He's from Jamaica, Queen. Now that one right there, like Bob, you and my brother, Raymond, same thing. My brother, mentor. He was the youngest in Chic, actually. Raymond was 18 when he joined up.
Damn, Norma.
Very, very talented. He went on to write Stay With Me Tonight for Jeffrey Osborne after Chic. He also wrote for Whitney Houston, Patti LaBelle, Spike Lee's first movie, and then others. Harlem Blues was Raymond's. And the song that they did for the girls in college, I can't think of the name.
School Days, the movie?
School Days,
School
yes.
Days.
All of those.
Now, where did you do most of your recording? Did you record back east a lot, or did you come to L.A.? Where was most of the?
I went to LA when Raymond and I, we ended up in a group. We created the group State of Art. He and I, we landed a deal with Spike Lee. Spike Lee had a label deal by way of Sony Music. And so we were the first act to sign on Spike's label, and we did an album titled Community. And what happened in that particular situation, that at the time that Spike landed that deal, he was working on his Malcolm X movie.
Right.
And so Sony anticipated by the fact that, Spike had a label with Sony that they would end up getting the soundtrack for Malcolm X, and that did not happen.
No.
And I think the soundtrack went to Warner Brothers, and I don't think Sony was too happy about, that
Right.
situation. So it definitely impacted on Community and his label deal. But the album itself was it was a great album. We released Understanding, which was the first single, and we wanted to release a song called Police State, which was dealing with the same thing that we're dealing with now.
Today,
Because
yeah.
Raymond would often complain about, he lived in California, in Woodland Hills,
Right.
how just by the mere fact that he was a black man driving a nice car
Right.
in the neighborhood that he lived in, and they would pull him over religiously. He would said it happened just all the time, and he was really fearful, about what could happen to him in those instances. If he said that if he wasn't just really calm and cool, he felt like he could lose his life with some of the,
Yeah, for
the
sure.
times that they would stop him. So that's why he wrote Police State.
Now, were you obviously probably were still with Chic when Freak Out was a big.
No, I was not.
You
with-
weren't?
I was with Chic just for the first album.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do right now, next music, you did a lot of writing, producing, and you've been managing also. So we're gonna go into a musical selection of some of the art that you have collaborated with, did some writing and some background with, and come back and share that with our listening audience, okay? And then I think we're gonna do Shantani in 60 seconds when we come back as we get close to closing out the show. But you always welcome to come back, Norma Jean. What's that album right there? What's she
He's
looking
obsessed with this album,
Is
the
that-
state of the art, what you were just talking
Right.
about.
Oh man. So
Right. That's State of Art. That's Hero. That's
They recorded
right.
this.
So
We
we got.
did
I
in
got a
Woodland Hills.
surprise. Right. I got a surprise for you on that one tonight too.
Oh,
Did they
you do?
record this at his
Uh-huh.
private studio in Woodland Hills, or it says Alchemy?
Studio. He had a studio.
Right.
in-
Okay. Because I see. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
All right. Well, give us a call at 323-524-2599 on the ubnnetwork.com, channel 1, Universal Broadcast Network here. We got the fabulous Norma Jean right in the house. DJ Reg, you ready to take me away? We're going to come back. We're going to surprise you with some of these tunes, and you let us know when we come back how this
Okay.
came together. So let's do this, Johnny.
Ooh.
So I wrote this just for you, baby.
I just wanna get close to you. I've been gone for such a long, long time. I just wanna get close to you. I've been gone for such a long, long time.
Well, it's been a little while, oh, how time's passed. Holding on to memories, how long can it last? Daydreams disturb me, now I gotta focus on returning to my love deep down. I hope this dream turn into reality, I stay calm, right? Wait until the day that you're held in my arms tight. Might I be the one you wanna hold most, dear? I won't stress it, but I wanna get close, yeah.
I just wanna get close to you. I've been gone for such a long, long time. I just wanna get close to you. I've been gone for such a long, long time.
Well, as I raise out my seat and my head feels light, I'll reminisce about.
Welcome back to the Groove Studios tonight. Live from Universal Broadcast Network here in Burbank, California, only where the legends can be found. And we have the legend Norma Jean Wright in the house tonight. Norma Jean. From Elyria. Because I got to keep saying that.
Elyria,
But
right?
Elyria.
You keep saying it wrong. Would you work with enchanted?
It's Elyria.
Elyria.
Yeah, even I know
That's
that.
it, E. You told me to say E. Look, because remember I was saying L.
I also didn't say illiterate as they go along with that.
This is the Pittsburgh public school system, Miss Wright. You know, what are you going to do?
He did not graduate from Elyria High, B-I-C-T-O-R-Y, okay?
Was every school you went to named after the city?
Yes, no, the state.
Elyria Junior High?
No, we went to Lorain
It's
County
not.
Community College, and we went to Ohio State University. So we went city,
Robert has
county.
me saying the Ohio State. Anytime someone says Ohio State, I'm like, oh, you mean the Ohio State? Like, he's got me saying that now. And I know nothing about Ohio State.
So, my dear, we played a segment of songs that Sky, remember
Yeah.
Sky?
In
Guy, did you play Tear Down These Walls by Sky? You played
Nearer to you.
Sledge. They told me that you played Sister Sledge because you had a crush on Kathy. So I
Who said that?
nothing to do with-
Boom!
No, I did hear through the grapevine
And we had Kathy on the show too.
on Kathy's sledge, so you just decided to slide in that album.
Hit him, baby. Hit
Hit
him.
him.
Okay.
Boom.
Now you had something. You did some things on We Are Family. Don't try
Yes,
it.
yes, definitely sang background on,
Right.
on that album.
Mm-hmm.
But Robert told me, because when I saw that particular album, I'm like, well, I didn't do anything on this. He goes, well, he has a crush on Kathy. He likes that. Which song was that you played?
That's so
Make a
fascinating.
move.
Yeah.
Because
Make a
Kathy
Move.
came into.
That's the one. So I was like, okay.
But
We had her on the show. He didn't make a move at all, actually, when she was on the show.
No, I was telling. I used to try
He
to
was
chase her at Girls
behaving.
High,
He was behaving.
and then we had Open Invitation with Gerald Austin.
Gerald Austin, I co-wrote that with Jeff Franzel, who's a great jazz pianist.
Didn't we have a picture of you and Gerald?
Well-known songwriter. Hmm?
How often do you hear songs that you forgot you participated in?
Like tonight.
Well, the ones that I hear often, I kind of remember
Right.
that I participated in because they were so big. It's
Right.
kind of hard to
How about Eric Gable?
that. Who?
Eric.
Eric Gable, yeah. Myself and Burt Price wrote a song on that album called Rock.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your writing style, Norma? I mean, if there is there some kind of style that's Norma
Usually
Jean?
when I write, I will, often I've gotten music. Like when Raymond and I worked together, he'd have music and I would listen to it and come up with
The lyrics.
for it, or we've sat and work on a hook together. It depends on who I'm working with. Kenny Burke, he had most of it done, and I added like some hook things to Rise into the Top.
With Pieces of a Dream, right?
Well, he actually did that, or redid that with Pieces of the Dream.
Okay.
But his original version, it was him doing the lead. And then it's been sampled by everybody.
Yeah.
Mary
Right.
J.
Dougie
Blige,
Fresh, really.
I have to say, everybody on Facebook Live just thinks that you look fantastic. They say black don't crack, which we know.
Oh,
And they just love you.
oh, thank you.
And I wanted to give a shout out to my uncle who's
That
watching
must
for
be
the
my
first
family.
time. Yes, my uncle's watching for the first time, and he's loving the show. He's a Detroit native, by the way. So
Oh, he is?
yes, he's
This
a
is-
Detroit. My
this-
Uncle Tommy's watching,
this is
so
first
shout out
time,
to
huh?
him. Yeah, this is his first time watching the show.
His first all these years. His
I
first-
know. Can you believe
Believe
it? That's
man.
Detroit
That's
for you, though. You
support
know,
from
what are you
your
gonna do?
family.
What are you gonna do?
Support from your family.
What are you
I
gonna do?
have
Hey.
family, friends, and just loads of people there in Detroit.
Yeah.
It's like I used to go there all the time because I have first cousins that lived there when I was younger.
Everybody got
Take
cousins
in
in
all that
Detroit,
Motown
Chicago.
music.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, did you remember doing anything with Father MC?
Father MC sampled
Right.
Rising to the
It's time.
Top.
Okay. But they had one of the songs Close to You. That's the one we played. It was some type of writing arrangement, but don't worry about it. We just wanted to make sure we had the connection in there.
See? All right.
Thank
So
you
what
very
are you
much.
up to these days, Miss Wright? Where can we find you? Where can we
Now
see
I'm
you?
trying to stay COVID free,
I know
No,
that's
that's-
right.
So,
but some writing. I'm doing some writing, and I have plans to work with some people that I worked with back in the day.
are you still managing and producing artists?
Well, no, I had to let go of that.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
because it was a lot of work,
Yeah.
especially with the way the industry is.
Oh yeah.
But I still do some things related to my son's. He's a producer, so I still am somewhat involved with his career. But no, but I did manage a group by the name of Imagine that they were really, really talented. And also an artist by the name of Raina, that's the dance artist. So
Okay.
One last question I want to.
multitasker, huh?
One last question I want to ask you, Norma. What would Norma Jean Wright today say to the Norma Jean Wright who came to New York that 20-something-year-old person didn't know? that the one today could have told her?
What would no matter what may happen, good, bad, or indifferent, if you have a solid foundation, spiritual base, you're going to land on your feet.
That's good advice.
All right, so we got one more segment here.
I'm going to ask you a series of random questions. You have to answer them in 60 seconds or less.
Lord.
Fun times. This is Clifton's favorite part of the show. What was your first job?
I worked as a sales girl at a restaurant. I mean, not a restaurant, it was a drive-through.
Oh, you were on roller skates?
It,
With roller skates with the little.
Bob would know the name of it. It was on. It was a Greek restaurant in Illyria, and you take out. It was very.
Illyria.
I don't know that.
Your
one.
favorite song to
Y'all only
perform?
10 miles long.
Favorite song to perform. Oh,
Saturday.
probably Saturday and Good Times.
Name a lover gave you.
That's right.
Name a lover gave you.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
that's what she said.
A lover gave me.
Yes.
I can't think of any name.
You know.
How about Sweet Thing?
What did Johnny call you?
Go ahead.
Greatest
What-
cutie pie. Oh, greatest piece of advice
Greatest piece of
that was given to you.
belief in oneself, believe in yourself, no matter what.
I was born in 1984. What were you doing then?
Smoking weed.
1984. What was I doing?
I
out
was-
on the road with Shaka Khan. I think.
Shaka Khan.
Or it was Freddie Jackson. One of them.
Oh,
I
okay.
remember both of them.
If you could record or produce an album for a celebrity that is deceased, who would that be?
If I could record an album for a deceased,
For a celebrity that is deceased, who would it be? Record or produce an album?
Luther and Raymond.
If you hadn't made a career in music, what would you have done instead?
Probably would have been doing social work or a teacher.
Dream artist to work with today that is alive. If you could wave a
A
wand.
dream artist that would work with today is a lot. Tina Turner.
Oh, okay.
That's a good job.
And that's 60 seconds. Actually, it was 2 minutes, but that's all right. We
was
stumped
a-
you on
it
the
was a-
lover
He said
one.
The whole thing was supposed to be done in
60 seconds, yeah.
Right, but you took a minute to think about who gave you a
definitely
name.
failed that test, huh?
She took a minute on the name a lover gave you.
So
but you
we-
still don't remember the name of the restaurant, huh? Was it a Greek restaurant?
We're-
I can't remember.
A Greek
Y'all
restaurant
only-
in
the,
Illyria?
the whole city only 10 miles
The
long.
owner was Greek.
Oh,
Okay.
the owner was Greek.
So we're getting ready to go into our last segment here and get ready to close out. We got one more segment left, and we're getting ready to do the Dusty of the Week. You ready, Pretty Tony, for the Dusty of the Week? Brought to you by Sweet Life SoCal Magazine. The publisher is Sarah Harris. It's a concierge magazine for socially and culturally engaged Southern Californians. We serve to inspire, inform, and foster the innovation of insightful features, dynamic people, places, and programs. And we were featured in there last year in July.
Yeah.
Right. Nice feature on us. So follow them on sweetlifesocal.com or Sweet Life on Instagram. Their new release of the fall book will be out in a couple weeks, and we'll have that out for you. So Sweet Life. So we're going to do a little Dusty of the Week. We're just going to show a video of you and that video of, I forgot the name of it, Raymond Jones and
Raymond!
What's the name of it?
State of Art.
Which one is it?
Hero is the song Hero.
Beating Heart.
Beating Heart.
Oh, Beating Hearts. That's
Right.
what Spike's label. Spike is
Yep.
in the video even.
Yep, that's what we're going to show for about a minute.
With Paris to shoot the video. Actually,
Oh wow.
That's what we're gonna surprise you with. So that's our
that's
dust.
before he gave the soundtrack to. In other words, Sony was putting out that money at the beginning.
All right, we
So that we went to Paris to shoot the video. Yes.
Sony
right.
was putting out that money till they found out that soundtrack went to somebody.
and it was shot in Paris.
here we
Yeah,
go.
we went to Paris.
wow.
We flew to Paris.
We'll be right back with you in a one groove moment. Take me away, Pretty Tony, DJ Red.
You say you need me in your life. Your pain or loneliness never die. Our love keeps me guessing, waiting in a endless bar. This could get distressing. Sometimes love is share a beating heart. You say there's tenderness in my eyes. Well, it's not something I'll deny. How can you just pick up from the past when memories of late last year keep flashing in my mind? So I'm confessing, I'm wishing on a
Welcome back to the Groove Studios. As we're live, as I say, this is where the
I'm
legends.
still stuck on the fact that she was on Madonna's first record. Like, I don't think you guys realize, like,
how big that is.
that's just, and I mean, I'm just like, that's just iconic to me. I just think that that's just amazing. Not because it was Madonna, but because of the time and then, you know, what it ushered in. You know, she was a part of a movement that really ushered in, you know, a different type of women's lib and sexual freedom and liberty and all those things. So that just is huge to me.
And I'd add that, to me, what I remember Chic, I remember they brought a sophistication that hadn't been out in the marketplace. And Norma personified that female-wise, being good-looking, but she had that whole style. And then Niall and Bernard were clean. And it was just a whole look to me that kind of entered it.
Yeah,
at time
just
too.
ushered in a
Saw
different.
a couple of those
yeah.
pictures, Tony. You see chic fashion.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention also, with regards to Lucy Martin and Alpha Anderson, who were also the female vocalist, lead female vocalist of Chic. The three of us still work together. We work together as former lead vocalist of Chic, or formerly of Chic. So I just wanted to mention that because
That's great.
I work with First Ladies of Disco as well. I told you I have 15 jobs.
Right.
She's
So,
Jamaican, y'all.
so you're doing Linda Clifford and Marsha Walsh, right?
First Ladies of Disco, it's Linda
Thelma.
Clifford
There we
and Martha Wash. Thelma has done shows with us because with First Ladies of Disco, it can be interchangeable. I mean,
Right.
prior to my working with them, it was Evelyn Champagne King, Martha Wash, and Linda Clifford.
And
Currently, it is Martha Wash, Linda, and myself. And with former Ladies of Chic, it's the three original voices of Chic, and we work together as formerly of Chic.
so you guys do the music with a
We're
band
the
and all.
original voices.
Okay.
Over in Europe.
I just
Right.
stepped in and became lead, and they were there for the biggest hits, Good Times and the Freak, and we worked together quite a bit. I mean, of course, COVID has.
Yeah.
Nobody's working now, but we definitely. I just wanted to mention.
Does
No,
it
that's
still
what we're into. Your
yeah.
latest projects. That
Does
was
it
our
still
question.
shock you that like someone my age, you know, grew up listening to your music and still listens to your stuff? Does that shock you? Because obviously I wasn't thought of when you guys were creating.
Well, how old are you?
I'm 36.
You're
I'll be 36 in a
my
couple
son-
days. Yeah.
Let me just say this: my son is 33,
Oh, is he cute?
and
Is
he
he
did
single?
not
No,
really
I'm kidding.
look at Chic's music as anything until somebody played him Puffy stuff, and he's like, oh, "That's Chic. That's they were good."
Yeah.
Prior to that,
No, I grew up in a house. My mother was an entertainer for years, so I grew up in a house listening to this type of music when everybody else was listening to Public Enemy and all that stuff. I was listening
Right.
to this
Right.
type of music.
Remember
So,
the group Hot? You remember a group called Hot?
hot.
Yes. I'm just asking, do you remember? That's her mom. They had about 3 or 4 albums out.
No, I.
Okay.
yeah,
No
she
worries.
came out of the Detroit wave too, out of that Detroit Motown
Okay.
wave. Yeah. So I grew up around all of that that stuff. So it's just it must be fascinating for you to have your music still living on.
You know what? I feel so blessed that the music has stood the test of time
Yeah.
because.
You have too, girl.
I mean, and like you're 36.
Yeah.
I'm finding, did they call it new disco now?
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
really?
A lot of people are getting back into that
Retro,
sound.
like
Yeah, and the
retro
vinyls are
sound.
coming back. People have record players now, and yeah.
Yep.
So, how do we keep in touch with Norma Jean Wright? You're on all the social media, Instagram, Facebook.
Yep. You can reach me on Facebook, Norma Jean Wright. You can reach me on Instagram. It's NorJean +1 on Instagram. And you can also, my website is officialnormajeanwright.com. You can, for First Ladies of Disco, the website is firstladiesofdiscoshow.com. And the Facebook page is First Ladies of Disco Show. And for if you're interested in contacting me by way of, with Alpha, Lucy, and I, it's formerly of chic.com.
Okay, excellent.
So she's an Illyrian Jamaican. Okay,
I see.
I got 15
You
jobs.
got 15 jobs.
You got to. If you live
Hey.
in New York, you got to have one job.
Well, we hope you enjoyed your experience. I know you've done a lot of interviews over your luxurious career. So this was special for us, very special. So hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have any comments on our show.
I did enjoy it. And anything for my brother here, Mr. Robert A.
All right, thank you.
You can call him.
Robert
You can
A.
call him.
And also for you guys, I'm happy to be on the show and happy that people still want to hear about the history, of Chic and my career, and I'm just thankful. Thanks for having me.
Well, from the bottom of our hearts, from DJ Reg, Pretty Tony, the producer, Shantini, Irie, and of course your boy Robert A. here, and myself, we want to present to you the We Love Rare Grooves Award. Here we are right here. And there we are. Oh, can you get a picture, Shantini? Hold it up a little bit more. We wish we had you in the studios, my dear.
And you will be back to L.A. and you will be on our show again, live in living color.
Next time it will be live.
Yep. Love you, baby. You know that.
Love you too. Thank you. And thanks to all those that tuned in. I appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you. And hold on for 1 second before we leave the show. Just got 2 questions for you. We're getting ready to close out. Pretty Tony, thank you so much for engineering the show. We had a great time. DJ Rez, thanks for putting everything together. We still have a special treat we're going to send to you in a couple days.
Oh, I get another treat.
You're going to get another treat in a couple days, something to add on to your social media.
Shout out to our Facebook. We Love Rare Grooves. We Love Rare Grooves on YouTube Live. We stream live now. We're on Twitter. We Groove Entertainment. We Groove Entertainment on Instagram. So, check us out. We're still moving and shaking during the era of COVID. And as you can see, we are still bringing you legends and icons every Monday night.
Do we have one next week?
Next week, we have Melba Moore.
All right, that's my girl.
Yes, we will be interviewing her next week. We are excited about that. And it's just been moving. So we're coming up on 6 years next month.
Is it? 6?
November for me, 6 years.
Really?
Yep. November 2004. 14, yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Keep the project going there.
And my last comment is that we are working through my sister Norma Jean to have my girl Sarah Dash on, but we're gonna work that. Okay, we are going to
You're going to
work.
have to be Bobalicious to get that.
We're going to speak it into existence, okay?
And maybe, and we have reached out to Linda Clifford, so I'm sure you can support us on that. I met Linda before.
Yep.
Okay. I will definitely do my
Well, we want to thank our listening audience all over the globe for another great edition of We Love Rare Grooves, only where the legends can be found.
That's right.
As we only do here on
We Love Rare Grooves.
See you
Yabba dabba doo.
See
Love
you
you,
next
Norma.
next groove week, next groove channel, same groove time.
Take care,
We
baby.
got it. Hold on 1 second, Norma. Thank you very much, and cut.